Shalom and welcome, students of Hebrew. I want to welcome you to our class today, and today's class will cover Yehuchanan, or in Hebrew, in the modern Hebrew, Yochanan, and in English, John, and we will cover chapter 6, verses 42 to 45. So as we begin, let us first look at what's called the valve marks, a chart that I've put together so that anyone new to the valve marking is more familiar with them and how to use them. And in Hebrew it's called nikud. And I've also given you these great resources which I do encourage you to use because they're very useful. Firstly, this one gives you all the transliteration and translation. But just in case the translation doesn't quite match up, we also have Do It in Hebrew Dictionary, which is very useful in determining the root meaning of the individual words. So let us begin. So first we begin with, we're in verse 42. It's represented with a mem, which has a value of 40, and a vayet, which has a value of 2. And as we do each week, we go through the letters first. Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Vav, Hey, Lamed, Aleph, Zion, Hey, Hey, Vav, Aleph, Yod, Hey, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Bayet, Nun, so fit, meaning Nun at the end of a word. And you'll find that various letters change their form when they're on the end of a word. Then we have Yod, Vav, Samek, and Fe, so fit, Fe at the end of a word. And so we begin by reading, but first you'll notice that the Aleph in each one of these is in white, which tells us we do not pronounce it. It's basically called a silent letter, along with ayin, as you'll see. Then we read, Va-yom-ru. And they said, often the pronouns on the end, it's third person, as we can see there. And they said, Hello. Now the hey there is what we call a questioning hey. So it is not, or is it not, or is not. Yeah, that's better. They, this, who, he. Now who can be he, it can be it can be he is. And then Yahushua or Yahusha, and most commonly used as Yeshua. Ben, meaning son, the son of, and I've added of, Yosef, or Joseph. So they said, is this not Yeshua, the son of Joseph? And so now we can read that. Va-yom-ru, halo ze, hu, Yahushua ben Yosef. And they said, is not this he, Yahusha, the son of Joseph? And we come to 42b. And we have Aleph, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Nun, Chet, Nun, Vav, Yod, Dalet, Ayin, Yod, Mem, so fit, Aleph, Tav, Aleph, Vet, Yod, Vav, Vav, Aleph, Tav, Aleph, Mem, Vav. And just a point, the ayin here is not in white, but it is still not pronounced, but we only pronounce the vowel that's under it. So let us begin. Asher, that, anachnu, we, and I've added are, and you could also say that we, and I've added are because it's based on the next word, yodim, meaning knowing. So generally it's translated that we know, but because this is a yodim, therefore it looks like a participle. So therefore we could say that we are knowing. Et, grammar marker, Aviv, meaning his father. Again, the vav on the end is his. And then va'et and grammar marker imo, meaning his mother. Again, the O is his. And I've given you down the yada, which is a cold verb to know, to be aware, to be familiar with. Right? We get that from the root of this one, yada. That's normally the root, yada. It's a cold verb. That's your most basic root. So, son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know. So we're going to read that now. Asher anachnu yodim et aviv ve'et imo. That we are knowing, grammar marker, his father and his mother. And so now we turn to 42c, and we have a vav, a left, yod, kaf sofit, kaf at the end of a word. Yod, a left, mem, resh, mem, nun sofit. Hey, shin, mem, yod, mem sofit. Bayed, a left, tav, yod. And we read it. The ache and how, because ache means how, and how. And we got a shavah there. That means it's like a prefix, but it's separate from the word. It doesn't alter the word. And how Yomar shall he say? Why is it shall he say? Normally where there's no pronoun, we know it's he. And the yod in the beginning is an imperfect form. So you could say, does he say or shall he say? So it's imperfect. Min from ha-shamayim, from the heavens, bati, I came or I've come. That's a perfect form. How can he say, I have come from the heavens? And now we can read it. Ve'ek yomar min ha-shamayim bati. And how shall he say, from the heavens I came? So now we turn to 43a, represented with a mem and a gimel, the third letter of the alphabet. And then we go through the letters. Vav, yod, ayin, nun, sofit. Yod, hey, vav, shin, ayin. Vav, yod, aleph, mem, resh. Aleph lamed yod hey mem sofit, aleph lamed tav hey yod. And so we read it. Vaya'an, and he answered. And that's a perfect form because we have a prefix, the yod being imperfect, but with the vav, with a patak under it, it means it's perfect form. So that's why we have, and he answered, remembering that no pronoun we can add he, and its root is ana, with the he dropped off. It's a cold verb, it means to answer, to reply. And then we have who is answering, Yahushua, or Yahusha, Vayomer, and he said, Alehem, unto them. And of course the hem is plural. Al meaning not. Te he. You should be. Why is it you should be? We know that haya is the root down here, haya, to be, to exist, to become, right? So haya is the root. The tav tells us second person, which means you, and also it's imperfect. So it would be you should be or you shall be, right? You should be, not you should be. And I've given it to you here as second person imperfect. So we also see the translation, Yeshua answered and said to them, do not. And now we read it. Vaya'an, Yahushua, Vayomer, Alehem, Al Tehi. And he answered, Yeshua, and he said unto them, not you should be. And so we turn to part B of 43. We have a Tav, Lamed, Vav, Nun, Hey, Bet, Yod, Nun, Yod, Kaf, Mem, so fit. And we read it. Teluna. Teluna, complaining. So where do we get that from? It comes from teluna down here. It's a feminine noun and it means a complaint, but as a verb form, hitlonen, hitlonen, it's a verb to complain. And that one's a hitpl verb stem, which is a reflexive action. So this is more like we're using it as a participle form, teluna, complaining. And you could probably put there, like here, do not grumble or do not complain. And then be, ne, kem. Now the root of that is bayan. If we look down here, bayan is a prep. It means between, among, amid. So you could put between you, amid you, among you. So do not grumble among yourselves. And so now we can read that. And it is te luna bene kem. Complaining between you. And so now we come to 44. It's represented with a mem. Again, 40 and dalet, the fourth letter of the alphabet. That's how we count. So we're in 44 and we have Lamed, Aleph, Yod, Vav, Kaf, Lamed, Aleph, Yod, Shin, Lamed, Vayet, Vav, Aleph, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Bayet, Lamed, Tav, Yod. So we read, Lo, meaning not, Yukal. And again, there's no pronoun, so we could say he shall be able, because it's an imperfect form with the Yod in front of it. And the root of it is actually yakol. And you'll notice that here there's a yod there, but the yod has been replaced with a vav there because they don't want two yods in a row. So yakol is a kol verb, to be able, to be allowed, to be possible. And then we have ish, meaning a man. Lavo, to come. Elai, to me. Bilti, except. So how do we get except? Bilti is a biblical adverb. It can mean only or nothing else, without, except. So we'll use except. So no one is able to come to me unless, and that's another one that means like except. So we read it. Lo, yukal, ish, lavo, elai, bilti. Not he shall be able, a man, to come to me, except. And so we turn to 44b, and we have an aleph, a mem, so fit. Yod, mem, shin, kaf, hey, vav, aleph, vayet, yod, aleph, shin, resh, shin, lamed, chet, nun, yod, vav, aleph, nun, yod. And we read, im, which can be translated as if, and then we have yim, she, ke, hu. Remembering that when we have two shavars, the second one is a vocal shavar, so it becomes she. Whereas this is actually the completion of the syllable. Yim, she, ke, hu. So what does it mean? He, because there's no pronoun, we can say he, shall draw him. So that's the him. Who at the end means him. And the root of it is mashak, which is a kal verb, and it can mean to pull, to draw, to drag, to attract. It's an imperfect form because we have a yod, and then we have avi, my father. Again, the ending tells us my father. Asher, who, because asher can be who, that, which, whom. Shelachani, sent me. Now we know that shalach means to send, and ni at the end means me. Va'ani, and I. So the translation, unless my Father who sent me draws him, and I. So now we can read that. Im, yim, shekehu, avi, asher, shelachani, va'ani. And the translation, if he shall draw him, my Father who sent me, and I. And so we have 44C, we have an aleph, a kuf, a yod, mem, nun, vav, bet, yod, vav, mem sofit, hey aleph, chet, resh, vav, and nun sofit. And we read it. Ki me nu, I shall raise him. Now we notice that the ending is nu, so we look down here, the note, the dagesh in the nun, in the first word makes it a singular form, meaning him or it, rather than meaning we or us. So, and of course the root here, which is the kuf and the mem, if we look down here, it comes from come, which is a verb, kal verb, to wake up, to arise, to get up. I shall raise him. Bayom, in the day, ha'acharon, the last. If we look down here, acharon is an adjective, it means last, terminal, final, ultimate. And the translate, and I shall raise him on the last day. So now let us read that. Ki menu bayom ha'acharon. And I shall raise him in the day, the last. And now we come to 45, represented with a mem 40 and a hey 5. And then we look at the letters. Hey lamed aleph, kaf, tav, vav, veit, beit, nun, veit, yod, aleph, yod, mem, safit, vav, kaf, lamed, beit, nun, yod, kaf, safit, lamed, mem, vav, dalet, yod. So let's read. Hello. Again, it's a questioning hey. Is it not katuv, written, ba nevi'im, in the prophets? Of course, it comes from navi, which is a masculine noun meaning prophet, oracle, or seer. Vekol, and all, ba na yik, your sons. Again, banai means sons. So in that form it means your sons. And all your sons. Again, the your is a kaf sofit on the end. And then limudei, shall learn of. And it comes from lamud, adjective, meaning well-versed, experienced, knowledgeable. And then we have limud, which is a masculine noun meaning learning or acquiring knowledge. So it's interesting that in the English it says, is it not written in the prophets, and all your children shall be taught? So, because it's also like a construct ending, shall learn of, which is the same thing as being taught by, but this is, they shall learn also, they acquire knowledge from, if you want to think of it like that. So therefore, now we can read that. It's Halo Katuv Ba Nevi'im V'Kol. Remember, that's a Kamatz rule. V'Kol Ba Nayik Li Mudei. Is it not written in the prophets, and all your sons they shall learn of, or from? And so we now come to 45b, and we have a Yod Hey Vav Hey Lamed Kaf Nun Savit Kaf Lamed Aleph Shin Resh Shin Mem Ayin Mem Nun Safit Hey Aleph Vayet Vav Lamed Mem Dalet. And then we have Yahuwah, or often it's translated as Yahweh, and of course people who are Hebrew don't even say it, but we believe it's good to say it as well, because that's also honouring to the name. Lakin, therefore, kol all asher hu shama here min from ha'av, the father, ve'lamad, and learn, shall be taught by Yahuwah or Yahweh. Thus all who have heard from the Father and learn. Again, I've given you lamad, kol verb to learn, to acquire knowledge, or lemed, which is a piel verb to teach, to explain, to instruct. They look very similar. And so we can read it. Yahuwah or Yahweh, Lakin, Kol, Ashir, Shama, Min, Ha'av, Ve'lamad. Yahweh, therefore, all who hear from the Father and learn. So we also have the translation shall be taught by Yahweh, which I've already said. Thus all who have heard from the Father and learn. And we have 45c now. And we have Yod, Vayet, Aleph. Aleph, Lamed, Yod. Yavo shall come, or he shall come, right? Elai, unto me. From the Father and learn shall come to me. And we read it. Yavo, Elai, shall come unto me. And now it's time for us to delve into our revision, just to see how we are able to read and translate. So we begin. Vayomru, and they said, Halo, is not they this, who, hey, Yahushua, ben son of Joseph? And they said, is not this he, Yahushua, son of Joseph? Asher, who, anachnu, we, yodim, knowing, et Ramamaka aviv, his father, et imo, and Ramamaka, his mother. That we are knowing Grandmamaka, his father, and Grandmamaka, his mother. Ik and how, Yomar, shall he say, or does he say, min from ha shemayim, the heavens, bati, I came. And how shall he say, from the heavens I came? And so now we come to Mem 40 Gimel 3. Vayam, and he answered, Yahushua, Vayomer, and he said, Alehem, unto them, I'll not tehi, you shall be. And he answered Yahushua, and he said to them, not you shall be, teluna, complaining, be nekem, between you, complaining between you. Now we have a Mem 40 Dalet 4 in 44. Lo not yukal, he shall be able, ish, a man, lavo to come, elai, unto me, bilti, except. Not he shall be able, a man, to come unto me, except. If yim sheke who, he shall draw him, Avi, my father, Asher, who, Shalachani, sent me, Va'ani, and I. If he shall draw him, my father, who sent me, and I, Aki menu, and I raise him, Bayom, in the day, Ha'acharon, the last. And I shall raise him in the day the last. And then we have Mem 40, Hey 5. Hello, is it not Katuv, written, Ba Nevi'im, in the prophets, Vekol, and all Banayik, your sons, Limudei, to learn of. Is it not written in the prophets, and all your sons shall learn of? Yahuwah, or Yahweh, La Cain, then therefore, call all, Asher who, Shema, hear, min from, Ha'av, the father, Ve'lamad, and learn. So Yahweh, or Yahuwah, therefore all who hear from the Father and learn, Yavo, shall come, Elai, unto me, shall come unto me. And then finally we have the vowel marks, and we have a kamatz, which is a longer A, patak, a shorter A, zere, a longer E, segol, shorter E, shava, which breaks up the word into syllables. Then we have cholam, the O sound, shuruk, like a short U sound, and this is kubutz, a longer U. And then we have a combination of kataf, segol, which is a shava followed by segol. Then we have chirik, the I sound, and then kataf patak. After the shava, we have a shorter A sound. And then we have a kataf kamatz, which after the shava is a longer A sound. And finally, we again have our resources because we find them So necessary. And then we're going through all the letters, which we will do again randomly. Zad is 90. Tet is 9. Aleph is 1. Vav is 6. Tet is 9 again. Mem is 40. Resh is 200. Fe is 80. Lamed is 30. Chet is 8. Resh is 200. Tav is 400. And so it brings us to the end of our lesson again. And we do pray you do enjoy these lessons and find them easy enough to follow. And we just like to thank you for joining us. And we pray you will return and continue in your study in Hebrew. And we want to wish you a Shavua Tov, a good week in our Master, Yeshua or Yahusha, HaMashiach, the Messiah, the soon coming King. Amen.